In this lecture, we are going to be talking about sensory-based activation for your memory system. We're going to be talking about adjusting and working on hand-eye coordination. Oftentimes, when you use this motor sensory integration, when you integrate both your visual ability and your hand skillful kind of this is you combining two different types of memory systems. First, the eye, you're working on your visual memory, and the hand, you're working on your procedural memory. By combining those two memory systems, you can overall improve your long-term memory. So here are some exercises that you can do once a week, for example, to improve your long-term memory and specifically your procedural memory and your visual memory. First off, building a puzzle. It is very helpful for you to build a puzzle because you are using your visual ability to see where the missing pieces will go. And then as you start building the puzzle more and more, you'll notice that it gets easier, not just because the image is getting clearer and now you have less pieces of puzzles to put in, but also the procedural memory is working and it is now easier for you to assemble the pieces of the puzzle effectively. Moreover, learn knitting. This is also another exercise. It might be a hobby of yours to knit and make sweaters, for example. This is also another hand-eye coordination exercise. If you're learning it fresh, at first, you'll feel that it's a bit hard. You need to look at the piece of clothing you're trying to knit, make sure that it's properly adjusted, and you need your procedural memory to be working for you to know how to knit and do it properly. But after a while, you'll find that when it used to take you 2 weeks to make a sweater or a hat, now you can make it in a day. So this is also your visual memory and your procedural memory having a coordination or link together and working into improving your long-term memory. So after a year, for example, of knitting, if you stop for a decade and then you go back at it, you'll find that you still got the skill sets and the procedures that are necessary for you to do the knitting process. And this is your long-term memory working exactly there. And one last exercise you can do is learn drawing. When you go on YouTube, for example, or on Google, and you learn how to draw some things, what you need to do is you need to look at the tutorial, for example, and try to memorize everything they said or all the instructions, close it, and try to draw whatever you saw. If the tutorial is based on drawing Mickey Mouse, for example, you will, at the end of the video, you'll stop it. If the video is based on drawing Mickey Mouse, for example, you'll watch the full tutorial, then you will shut it down and try to draw it yourself. Also, when you start, you'll find that Mickey Mouse doesn't look anything like Mickey Mouse. But as you advance, as you start learning more and more, as your hand-eye coordination gets better, you'll be able to take different arts or different drawings that you want to replicate, and you'll find that it's way easier to do it. And again, this is your hand-eye coordination. This is your visual memory and your procedural memory getting this correlation and working towards improving your long-term memory.